Dr. Caldwell, and this is Grace. She's my lead technician. We're from Happy Valley Veterinary Hospital, and today we're going to show you my preferred method for cleaning ears when your dog has an ear infection. So this is not for prevention, it's for when there's already a problem and I've told you to go home and clean the ears once a day and medicate them. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is my very own pug. She's 8 years old. And she does not currently have an ear infection, but pugs frequently do get them. If you have a smaller dog, say 20 pounds or less, you should absolutely put them on a table or a kitchen cabinet. Have something soft that they can kind of hold on to that will absorb some of the mess that you're about to make. And don't wear your favorite clothes because they shake their head and it gets everywhere. If it's summertime, you can actually go outside to do this process so that you can just make whatever mess you're going to make. It's important when you're cleaning ears to use a lot of fluid. We're trying to really float out all that debris and earwax out of their ear. And if you're really hesitant with the amount of fluid that you use because you don't want to get the place dirty, it's not going to work. So, in fact, if I send you home with this size of an ear cleaner and this size of a dog, when I see you back in about a week, you should be out. You should use plenty of ear cleanser. So the most important thing after you're set up and ready to go is to make sure that this doesn't become an unpleasant experience for your dog. So try not to yell at them or restrain them harshly. They can't sit still for this. It hurts. What's helpful is to have a helper that can hold for you, and then that way you can focus on getting the ears cleaned as best you can. If the ear infection is really bad, you definitely just want to do as much as you can the first day. The medicine will get in there, it'll do some good, and over about the second or third day, it'll start to be easier and easier because it feels better. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to have treats around so that somewhere in the middle of our ear cleaning, we can give a treat. Many dogs are food motivated, and you can see that my pug knows exactly what this is and is just waiting to figure out how she can earn it. So it'll make the whole process more pleasant for them so that as you go through the week, they don't start biting you and getting upset. The first thing we're going to put in is a cleanser. There's many options for cleansers. Here in this hospital, we have these 3 among others. This one is safe even if the eardrum is ruptured. So if we get in there and we can't find the bottom of the ear canal, this is the one we'll choose. Or for cats, this is a good one too. This is a medicated flush, so we wouldn't have to use a separate medication. That's if we've diagnosed an actual yeast infection. This one will take care of that. And this one is a flush that is cleansing. It sort of dries things out a little bit. Remember, moisture is your enemy in an ear infection. But it's not painful when you put it in. Like alcohol is drying too, so is peroxide. Both of those things hurt like crazy and they actually cause tissue damage. So you'd want to stick with something commercially designed for the ear and not vary from that. The best place to get it, of course, is your vet hospital because we've vetted these, no pun intended, and we know exactly what's in them and how they work, okay? So today we're going to use this one as our demonstration. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to fill the ear canal with fluid. So you're going to grab the ear itself, that's called the pinna, and you're going to lift straight to the ceiling and you're going to hang on to it no matter what happens. And our goal is to fill the entire ear canal until it's coming back out with fluid. And this is about how they react. That's normal. It's a little cold, feels weird. And then once the ear canal is full, you want to take your fingers at the base of the ear and squish, 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 squish. What this does is it dislodges earwax and it floats to the top. Earwax floats. Then I like to use a Kleenex, because you can't hurt them with a Kleenex. And I kind of get in there and remove, but you can't hurt them with your finger. I get in there and kind of remove the earwax, and it comes out on the tissue. Now again, she doesn't have an ear infection, just has little wax up here. And so you're not going to see much on the tissue. What I don't want to see you doing is using a Q-tip. This is designed for the human ear, and going down in there with that. If you want to use a Q-tip to help you, you can just use it in the areas that you can see, okay, to get these little crevices clean. Do not stick it down in the ear canal. If the dog shakes their head with a Q-tip in there, it can break off and puncture the eardrum. So stick with Kleenexes to clean their body off after the ear cleanser gets all over the place. You can use a towel or paper towel or whatever. So then with an ear infection, you'd actually do that 2 or 3 times. She's like, I'm out of here. So we would fill the ear canal with cleanser, pull it out with the, look what I got for you. Pull it out with the tissue, and then do it again and again until the tissue comes out clean. With her, the tissue is coming out clean, basically, so we don't really need to keep going. Then the next step after it's clean is you can dry it a little bit with this, and the best thing to do is just let the dog go, run around, shake its head, have a few minutes to let the ear dry out. Once it's dry, so now you've waited about 10-15 minutes, get the dog back on the table, and you're going to apply the medication. So if the ear infection is in both ears, of course you use the cleanser in both ears, then you're going to come back and you're take the medication, whatever we've recommended, and you're going to place it in the ear. This is when it's helpful to have a holder. If the ear medicine only goes on the ear itself and not down in the canal, it's not going to do very much good. So you need to place if you have one that's shaped like this, just down into the canal a little and depress the plunger. Dogs with ear pain do frequently jerk around like that. It's very hard to do this by yourself, so definitely have a helper. All right, I think I've covered everything. Make sure when you're done you give one last treat. Pug, would you like one last treat? She's like, please, please. You want to come up and get it? Good girl. I watch your fingers. And if you have any further questions, please call the hospital, 503-395-1649. Thanks.